Alright, what's up guys, lxrdkali here, back in another video. Now, in today's video, we have a crazy story. Matter of fact, it's actually pretty recent too. So, this takes place last Friday, in 2025. And basically, I didn't go to school that day because, my stepdad just told me, nah, come to work with me. So, I'm like, alright, bet. So, yeah, I had a 12-hour unpaid shift as always. Yeah, it was just some bullshit. I don't even want to get into that. So skip to the point where, I'm out of work. I come back home and I'm pissed off, right? I want to have a great night, but this is a Friday, so I have a great night. Also, real quick, water break. So I want to have a fun night, and I call up one of my homies, and he instantly picks up and he says, "What's up?" I'm like, "Yo, let's go outside and let's drink." He's like, "Alright, bet." So skip to about 10-15 minutes later, and we meet up next to the grocery store, and we talk about our bullshit days. He talks about his story, I talk about my story, and we go to the store and we got ourselves some liquor. Now, the type of liquor that we get is fucking Bombay gin. I don't know if it's just me. It is just me, but I love my Bombay gin. I don't know, none of my other friends, they like gin, but they don't really love it as much as I do. And I specifically love Bombay gin as well, the expensive ones. It's not that expensive, but compared to what shit you can get, yeah, of course, it's kind of expensive to the high school liquor that you get. So we go outside, I bought my cigarettes, I bought my liquor, I bought everything that I needed for the night. And we sit down near this bench. Now, this bench is a crazy bench. There's a ton of things that I did at that bench. And we didn't necessarily sit down exactly near a bench. We sat down next to a table tennis plate, like one of those, basically near a fucking table tennis table. What the fuck, bro? That shit is so weird. It's called tisch tennis platte. I don't know what the fuck to call it in English. So yeah, we sit down there and we post up. We have the aux going, we have music blasting, we just chilling, drinking a little bit, and it's quite fun. We of course blast blase because why the fuck not? And we're just chilling, having a great time. It's around 11 p.m., 11:30ish. And then all of a sudden my other homie hits me up. I'm like, "Oh shit, what's up?" So let's call this homie, I don't know, what should we call him? Let's call this man Toby. Now Toby says to me "Yo, I'm on the way, I'm pretty drunk already, I had a long day." I'm like, "No problem, we gonna be there." So he's on the complete other side of town as well. And all of a sudden we see him 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, pull up in his sister's car. Now, he's pulling up, and the true thing that me and my homie did, so me and my other homie, me and JJ, we put on our fucking masks, and we started acting as if we some robbers. However, I did a big mistake because I put up blase as soon as his little big sister was, driving him with the car, and then all of a sudden he greets us, and then he sees two random ass dudes masked up listening to blase, and he instantly gets the vibe. He dabs me up, he dabs his my other homie up, and we just start connecting, start vibing. So he starts telling his bullshit stories that no one cares about, and that's that. So we all start drinking more. He also brought some beers for him. He didn't bring nothing to that table, that little bitch, but hey, fuck it, it is what it is. So yeah, however, there comes a time where JJ has to dip home. He said to me earlier that at around 12 p.m, before midnight, he has to dip. So we're like, "Oh shit." So we gather our stuff from the table and we start dipping, and that's when I realized that I kind of fucked up, because I was only 2 glasses deep into my Bombay, into my drink, and I was already wobbling whilst I was walking and shit. Of course, I could still walk. It wasn't as if later in the story, which I'll get to. Yeah. So then there comes a time where JJ has to dip. So, we dap him up and we say, "Hey, good night, bro. I love you." Talking that drink talk as always. And yeah, that was that. JJ dipped, and that was just me and Toby. So now me and Toby are walking around, and I get an urge to smoke a cigarette. And he's like, no problem, bro, I got you. I'm like, hold up, where the fuck did you even get a cigarette from? You don't even smoke, Toby. He's like, I stole it from you, didn't even notice. I was like, oh, that's how this nigga is moving, you know? Turns out he actually fucking stole my cigarettes without me even noticing. Now that's usual when when I'm drunk, I lose a lot of shit. Like, I try my best not to lose, but I eventually just lose shit, you know? Lost my passport, lost my wallet. Anyways, that's a little bit of a sidetrack. So yeah, we walking around and nothing's really happening. I mean, look, the situation is like we blasting music through the streets, you know, not too loud. We blasting some random ass music. He keeps yapping about some political bullshit, shit that I don't really like care about, you know. Like, if he's talking about his family or his problems, I'll listen. But if it's like some random ass bullshit about some YouTuber, like, oh, Mr. No Name did this, like, I don't give a fuck, you know. I'm employed, bro. I got a job and I go to school. So yeah, skip to the part where, like, I don't know, we're in like this, I know, like this random part of the river. Well, I've been talking about the river like a lot, like, you know, a lot. And we come to this random ass bench on the other side of the river that I've never even sat down. And we start pouring some more, you know, we start drinking more. The vibe is lit, you know, I'm feeling actually lit for once. You know, it's about like 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. into the night, and then I asked him, like, yo, how long can you actually stay up for? Like, how long can you go on? He's like, bro, I got all night, I got all time. And I'm like, yes, because this was one of the few rare moments where I actually brought my keys too, so I can actually tweak all night. And that's exactly what we did. So there comes a point where my cigarette pack is getting kind of empty, you know, and we feeding for a gas station. Like, I'm feeding for cigarettes, he's feeding for like Monsters and energies and all that, you know. And boom, so all of a sudden we teleport to the gas station. I mean, we didn't really teleport to the gas station, it was more like a 2.5 hour walk, to be honest. So we arrive at the gas station at like almost 4 a.m, definitely past 3 a.m. ish. And, you know, we go into the gas station, and all I wanted to do was just get myself some cigs and a bev, you know. So I walk up to the counter, and this is the moment where I realized I am plastered, right? Because as soon as I went for the door of the fucking gas station, holy fuck, I started stumbling and shit. I forgot what I wanted, you know. And then I saw some energy drinks. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab these. And then I go towards the counter, and it's some random ass no name like cashier, man. I don't even remember his face. I don't remember shit, right? Because I was that plastered, like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 plastered. And I asked him for cigarettes. I'm like, yo, can you give me some Marlboro Mix, please? He's like, yeah, sure. You got your ID? I'm like, yeah, I have it on my phone. He's like, nah, man, sorry, I can't do this on your like, you have to have your normal ID, sir. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm 18 and I'm trying to not make a scene, but I'm so drunk I can't even look into his eyes whilst I'm talking and shit. I'm like, I'm 18. Look, I can even remember the date. And then this was the most embarrassing part. He asked me, like, all right, so tell me your date, so tell me your birthday, you know, maybe I'll let you slide. And you know, I show him on my phone my ID and shit, and I start saying the most random ass numbers with the most random ass name. I don't even know how. I didn't say my government name. I said some bullshit like John. And then after that he was like, nope, I can't serve you those cigarettes, sir, I'm sorry. I'm like, but I'm 18. He's like, no, I'm sorry. So I'm like, man, fuck this. So yeah, I walk out of the gas station defeated with no cigarettes in my hand, only 2 Red Bulls, one for me and one for Toby. And that was that. I felt defeated, you know. But I still had a little bit of cigarettes left. Not so many, but I had like 3 or 4 left. So I started smoking one, like the depressed cigarette, you know. Like, I don't know, like just a sad cigarette. I smoked a sad cigarette. Hold up, water break number 2. Make sure you also hydrate yourself at all times. Summer is coming, it's gonna be warm. Where were we? Oh yeah. So then we realized, like, fuck, it's almost 4 a.m. and we're nowhere near home. Like, we're like 7 kilometers away from home. That's like 5 miles at least away from home. And we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? By the time we go home, it's gonna be like 6, 7 a.m. And This is why I love Toby. Toby is a rich motherfucker. Toby, if you're watching this, I love you. Like that shit that we did was clutch. So he pulls out his phone and he's like, okay, I need your mobile hotspot. I'm like, alright, what are you doing? So I give him my mobile hotspot, and then he orders the fucking, like, the electric scooters, you know, and it's actually illegal to ride them both for two people to ride it, but we didn't care. We were drunk, you know, we were still young. So he orders up one of those and he starts it. He starts the scooter ride, and all of a sudden we're drunk driving and shit. This is also the title of the video. It took 10 minutes for me to get to the title, but yeah, we started drunk driving through the fucking streets of, I don't even know where, like Narnia or some shit, and he's pretty drunk. He's the one driving. I'm behind him. I'm drunk, so I'm flailing my body. He's drunk too, so he really can't steer. And oh my fucking god, the coincidence was insane. As soon as we start riding, not even like 2 minutes later, we see cops, right? And we're driving on the main street, borderline near the fucking autobahn, you know, near the fucking highway, just with a scooter at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And I see cops, and as soon as I said cops, Toby, this dude fucking locked in. He wasn't even drunk anymore. He was locked in, and we was riding on the fucking field, like fucking drunk driving, locked in on the field. And then the police, they didn't start no lights or nothing. I just said police. I looked behind me once they was still there. I looked behind me again after like 10 seconds after him like locking in and shit, almost tripping, almost falling down. The police were gone. So I told Toby, like, yo, police is gone. And he's like, oh, thank God. And then, like, you know, we just drive for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, the wheel pops at the most inconvenient time ever. So the wheel fucking pops. And all of a sudden, we're on a bump. So, boom. We just fucking fall down. We fall down in the field. Fucking both drunk, just crashing. I'm like, fuck. I'm pretty sure I hit my head or some shit. He also fell down, but he wasn't that affected. So, yeah, those shenanigans were over. And I swear, after like half an hour or like 40 minutes of driving on the scooter, you know, we finally make it to our hood after what felt like an eternity. And by this time, it was around like 5 a.m. The shops were still closed up until 7 a.m. So we really didn't want to, you know, like go outside the whole night up until 7 a.m., up until sunrise. So Toby decides to dip, you know, and I dap him up and I dip. And then I look at my cigarette pack and I just had one cigarette left. So I remember smoking this one cigarette, walking home, blasting some music in my earphones, you know, smoking my last cigarette of the pack. So I bought the pack on 10 p.m. It was done by like 5 a.m. So that was like a 7-hour, 8-hour speed run of cigarettes. Yeah, and I mean, that was that. I remember going home and I had to take a fat shit. Like I had to take 3 or 4 fat shits because it just like, you know, I just wouldn't stop. I don't know. And I remember not going to sleep because it was then a Saturday. And, you know, Saturdays is my only day off. So I remember just, like, staying up the whole Saturday. No. I'm mixing it up. I went to sleep at, like, 5 or 6 a.m. I woke up at 9 a.m. and didn't go to sleep anymore. Like, I'm telling y'all, didn't have no hangover. All I did was just, like, sleep for 3 hours, max 4 hours, and then I was good to go the next day. Now, obviously, I didn't do shit the next day. I just went outside, I think, like, for like half an hour or some shit. I was on some bullshit, you know, I didn't do shit. And that was that. That was a drunk driving story. One of my best stories of all time. Also, a very recent story with some very good gameplay in the background. Mind I saying? Damn, that was a nice quick scope. So, yeah, I mean, that was that. Like and subscribe for more stories. I have to lock in. I have to study. You know, I have exams in the next week, and I'm doing YouTube videos like a dumbass. But yeah, like and subscribe. Lord Kali, Kali's Karma, signing out. I love all y'all. Goodbye.